Okay, great. Same. We're gonna. Do you want to go first? What do you want me to say?
We just met and I'm awesome.
Okay, I'll bring you up. I'll bring you up. Okay, great, fantastic. Also, before we begin, can you all give it up for May? She worked really hard on this. This is May, everybody. Yeah, the last time I was here was like 5 years ago, and this place has grown and grown, and it's thanks to you. So thank you, May, and thank you for having me. And also, she gave me a bunch of weed, so if anyone wants any, when I come back out, I'll hand it out. No, you're saying no, but your mouth is open. Fantastic. Okay, then that's where we'll go. This first person coming to the stage, we just met. She was wearing a Death Row hoodie. I wish she was still wearing it because it looked really cool. Everybody, please put your hands together for Aivy.
I'm still wearing it. Oh my God. Hell yeah, that's what my voice sounds like? Fuck yeah. Let's do this. Happily divorced here. Anybody else? Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Who's happily married? Oh, honey, there's still time. Are you guys looking for a third? I'm into this lumberjack thing, like this lumberjack swag that you guys going on. Like, I really like it. Like, I'm so into it that when I was in college, I would only buy the paper towel roll that had Bounty on it just so I could jerk it to the dude on the cover. Like, I feel like there's just something really manly about a person whose line of work, or I mean, I don't know if you're a lumberjack for a living, but for the purposes of my fantasy later, let's just pretend. And I love that both of you you guys are dressed to tag team me, because I've always had this fantasy about lumberjacks because it's so masculine. I grew up in the Bay Area, so everybody in my life, and I don't know if you could, I'm Asian, I guess that's the next most obvious thing. Everybody in my life is either attached to a laptop, a cell phone, or a stethoscope. So my pussy went in the other direction, and bitch, we are going like agriculture. Like, it's just like every time I see plaid or cheese or a don't you know or a beard, like it's just like beep, 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 beep. You know what I mean? And it's just, I love it. I love it. Like, there's just something that's so cool about a guy who has the equipment to chop down a tree so he can fuck me on the stump with a PBR in one hand and a turkey leg in the other, and then bend me over the back of his Ford F-150. I don't know what you guys drive, maybe a tractor. I just want both of you to be there is what I'm saying. I am in my 40s, guys. Make some noise if you old. Hey! No, it's good to be in my 40s. You could not pay me to be in my 20s again. Like, my 20s were a lot of like drunken mistakes. My 30s were dealing with the consequences of them. And 40s, I feel like I can just enjoy myself now that I've cleaned up my own mess. Yeah. Like, I had my son, and I'm a single parent. Like, any parents in the house? Make some noise, yeah? Hell yeah. I know who's fucked raw in here. I had my kid when I was 26, and it's a little weird to me because now I see a lot of stand-up comics that are 26, and I look at them, and I'm like, I can understand why my family was terrified. 26 is a wild age to have a kid. He's going to be 16 next month, and he's one of those like Gen Z kids. Like, I don't know. Like, I think I did the best I could raising him, but like, I feel like every other day we have some sort of argument, and it's not about like mental health or anything like important like that. We just have arguments about whose music is worse. Like, I did not think that I'd ever have to have that conversation. I'm like, come on, like, I'm gonna be cool with my kid. I'm gonna be one of those parents that, not the cool mom, like not the like weed smoking in front of my kid mom. I haven't really reached that level of neglect just yet, but I wanted to be the kind of mom that at least knows the musical artist that my kid's talking about. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is music or a list of my pharmaceuticals. Like, what is this? Like, we had way better music. I mean, come on. Like, come on. Everybody knows who this motherfucker is, right? Like, and I don't mean Martha Stewart's homie. I mean the guy that was on trial for murder, okay? And I have a little bit of history, not me personally, but in my family with Snoop Dogg. He and my cousin graduated in the same graduating class at Long Beach Polytechnic High School. So he's in my cousin's yearbook, and my grandmother, like, there's a picture of them together somewhere, and my grandmother, before she passed away, would always ask, every time she would see his music videos, because they do have those in the Philippines, she would ask, Nako, how is Calvin? Like, she calls him by his government name. Like, Snoop Dogg by your government name, like, That's protected for life, guys. So I'm 42. Like I'm divorced. Like I said, I don't think I'm the right. I don't think I'm the right generation. I don't think I'm the right target audience for dating on an app. Is that weird? Like, I don't know if anybody here has met doing that, but I feel like it's not for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I spend a lot of time on my phone as it is, ignoring my son's text, roasting people on Twitter, and telling like certain members of tech to kill themselves, even though I work in tech. Yeah, I work in tech, which is what people with this face do for survival when the nursing program at Cal State East Bay is impacted. Like, I'm Filipino. That's what we're looking at here. That's what we're looking at here. Like, I don't usually get Filipino. I don't know if it's because of my height or the fact that I have a big ass. I usually get Cambodian or chubby Vietnamese. I'm not mad at it. Like, I eat pho like a motherfucker. I feel like maybe in another life that would have been a thing. But yeah, no, I'm Filipino. I'm Filipino. And thank you. Yeah. Who has who has Filipinos in their life? Make some noise. Yeah. Now, are they really in your life? Are we talking about the bitch that took your blood pressure at Sutter Health? Like, I love working in tech is. Oh my God, like I feel like I had a relative that had to be there during your prostate exam, sir. Holy fuck, dude! No, you're a gangster and you're like fucking bionic. Did they fix just this, or did you ask them to throw in like a extension down? You know what I mean? Like, because if I was in a position where somebody had to operate on me like in life-saving measures, I would be like, while we're here, there's this floppy part that I can't call baby fat anymore because my son is 16 years old. How about it? I'm dying. You can't say no. You can't say no to me. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask Drake what his surgeon did because I know he has like artificial abs. But let's get back to you in a second. Like I want to move on. Hold up. Nope. Yep, I got you. Don't even worry. You made your presence known, sir. You asked for this. You saw that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I like that you call me ma'am. That's kind of hot. So, yeah, like I'm not the correct demographic for that. So I work in tech. The people that I was matching up with on dating apps, because I did decide to give it a try just to see what the kids, not like in a gross, 500 feet away from a school way, but like young people. I wanted to see what they were doing that I was missing out on. It turns out it's a whole lot of nothing. Like, I'm not a cougar at all, guys. I don't know if I give off that impression, but I am absolutely not a cougar. And the reason for that is, like I said, I work in tech, so a lot of my employees are the same age as the people that we're trying to hook up. And I hate how these guys live. Like, a lot of the tech guys, I feel like they have a mentality where they still want to live like they're attending community college. Like, it's a lot of like temporary furniture, a lot of like beaded curtains. I have fucked on way too many air mattresses for somebody with a 401k. Yeah, thank you. Like, sometimes I worry about my back, but I'm just like, you know what? I got health insurance. I could do it. I don't feel bad for those guys because half of those guys are still under their father's health insurance. I'm like, you're 26. Like, where were you during 9/11? Like, what do you remember about it? I don't know. I'm trying to work on like a different beginning, guys. Like, I feel like these guys have no business. I feel like they have no business living like that. Tech guys, like, they make a lot of money, and these aren't dudes that just work some sales. Like, not that sales is a bad job, but these guys are in their early to mid 20s and have grown up jobs. Okay, like, we're talking about like they're computer developers, computer programmers, engineers, data scientists. Like, you know what I was doing when I was 23? I was selling ecstasy and working at Old Navy. We are not the same. Not the same. Like, they're drinking Top Shelf. Like, I'm still trying to get past Mad Dog. Or not the same. I don't know. I also feel like for the amount of money they make, I would think that their dates would consist of much more interesting things than hiking. Like, I'm a 42-year-old woman, okay? Like, my idea of a hike is going from one floor of Nordstrom to the 6th. Other than that, not interested. Like, pay for something, Skylar. Spend some money, okay? I paid for childcare. The least you could do is pay for some fucking drugs. Like, no, I don't want to connect with nature. I want to do edibles and get my cheeks clapped. Like, is that hard? God, Tyler. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I only fuck white dudes. I'm not that kind of Asian. Somebody's got to fuck those Kumon moms. You know what I mean? Like, level the playing field. Like, just, I as an Asian that has ADHD, some of us need that level playing field a little bit more than others. So yeah, like I don't know. Like, I feel like excuse me, did you have something else to? Oh my God. Yeah, stop. So anyway, like, I don't just fuck white dudes, especially not dudes that talk too much during comedy shows. No, my favorite kind of dude, I mean, I do hook up with a lot of, like, Latino, a lot of, like, Filipino, a lot of black dudes, but none of those guys are ever going to ask me to go on a hike because we know better than to follow white people into the forest. And they have gout. Just, no, sir. Like, there's better use for your ankles other than trying to, like, go up Mount Tam. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't know. Like, I used to be into I don't know. I used to be into other things, but I realized that, like, a lot of the things that people do recreationally now, I feel like those things could be considered white culture, right? Like, I know hiking has to be one of them for sure. Throwing axes, like, I don't remember the last time Filipinos did that shit. So, and I feel like I have to defend white people every time, like, other comedians say that they don't have any culture, because that's so fucked up and fake. I don't think that's not true. Like, I feel like anybody that says white people don't have culture has just never been to medieval times. You guys fuck with medieval times? You guys know what that is, right? Right? I'm so mad that the closest one to here, and yes, I looked, the closest one is in Southern California in Buena Park, okay? Not even fucking LA, Orange fucking county. And I know where it is because it's literally right next door to a Porto's that my family goes to during the holidays because that's where they're from. And while I'm stuffing my face full of cheese balls and cheese rolls and meatballs, I'm over there looking at the other side, asking myself why we can't be jousting instead. Like, it's like I think it's also a bucket list item for me personally. Like, I've wanted to go to medieval times ever since I got finger blasted at the Renaissance Fair. And I feel like I just have always wanted to be on the opposite end of cultural appropriation just for a change. Sir, keep it down. I don't know if I've introduced myself. My name is Ivy Cordova. I went to public school in Hayward, California, and I fight men. All right? I want to be able to take a shot with you, not take a shot at you. So if you don't mind piping down just a bit, is that cool? Is that cool? Nope. Just say yes. Just say yes. I'm a fucking dominatrix. You better say yes. Say yes. I don't know. I feel good about yelling at. So what did you say was wrong with your spine? Okay. All right. Nothing's wrong with your spine yet. Nothing's wrong with your spine yet. Pipe down. Pipe down. You need to pipe down. Like, I don't know if you, who raised you? Who raised you? Seriously, no, that's so fucking funny to me, because, like, I have a 16-year-old son, right? So, like, when I'm taking him and his friends to band, like, competitions and things like that, sometimes they take a little bit to pipe down, and it's not because I don't have any interest in anything that they have to say. May, you need to leave. You need to leave at this point. You need to go. You need to go. I did not drive all the way from Hayward to Placerville to be fucking interrupted by Professor X, okay? Shut the fuck up and let me finish my set. Is Professor X the bald one? Sorry. There was another person I completely had in mind that had nothing to do with that shit, but I got a little bit distracted. I don't like addressing this stuff in the middle of the show, but I would really like to keep going without interruption. Like, do you mind? Is that cool? Is that cool? Thank you. Like, we'll smoke afterwards. Let's talk about it. See, like, this is why it's hard. I would not take this so rough, but your girl has ADHD. That's already kind of hard. So, I'm trying to get through this the same as you. If you don't like it, I'll be out of here in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So, yeah, so I have been dating a smart guy, you guys. Like a nerd. Clap for me. That shit's hard. You know, like that's, whew, like dating, like I don't want to be one of those people that's like dating's rough, but you know, it was rough. Like you don't know how rough it is until you actually have it good. And he's so fucking smart. He's taught me a lot of things about myself that I wasn't really aware of. Like I don't know. I thought I didn't like sexting. Like I don't mean to be uncreative or like boring. I just really thought I didn't like sexting. It turns out I just needed to do it with somebody that's capable of using full sentences. Like, listen to this, right? And I want to taste all of you, Ivy. That's hot, right? Like I'm sweating now for reasons unrelated to wearing a sweatshirt on stage. I want to taste all of you. Like, that's hot. You know what's not hot? You gone B, Gone, B the letter B, my lil bitch, question mark, question mark, question mark. And he didn't even spell little bitch. He typed Lil bitch like I'm a SoundCloud rapper. Like I should have face tattoos or something. And just, I don't know, like I feel like I can't be with a person like that again. Like how lazy do you have to be? How lazy must you be to feel like you can abbreviate cum? Dead ass serious. Like, if you're not gonna buy dinner, at least buy a vowel, bitch. He was terrible. He was terrible. Like the other guy is so smart that I actually, I did this last night. I corrected my own grammar in the middle of actively sexting. Because I was typing something about taking a dick, but I wasn't sure if I had conjugated it correctly. So he had to wake up the next day to lines of like taking a dick, to take me a dick, show a dick up. Like I was just finding all these things. I was also like very, very high. And at the end of all that shit, he goes, "Babe, I understood it." I was just like, I feel like you have standards now. You actually have standards. You know, that's why he deserves to be called daddy. I have a weird, like, I don't know how people feel about that. Like, do people here like being called daddy in bed? Yeah, hell yeah, dude, that's good. That's good. Like, I like calling dudes daddy personally because I feel it's like eating his ass, but with words. Right? And like, and it's not like I have a bad relationship with my dad at all. Like it's more like a power dynamic thing. Most of the men that I have called daddy have nothing in common with my actual father, who pays for things and has never spanked me. I just, he doesn't. Like, I'm one of those people that I feel so uncomfortable whenever people, comedians talk about like, well, my dad beat my ass, but like, I'm built different. Like, no, you are built like with a prediction, like prediction for alcohol in the future. Like you're not okay with being hit. Like that's not okay, like at all. And I'm I'm Filipino. Like there's people that think that our moms are all cage fighters with flip flops. And I have seen it happen in my family. It's just not happened to me by my parents. CNN actually released an article a couple years ago. CNN had an article talking about how a lot of parents no longer spank their children who now grow up to be well-adjusted adults. And, you know, there's some truth to that. My parents never laid a hand on me, and that's why I am now a well-adjusted adult that enjoys being choked. I don't know. It's true. I like it. But I know I have to be careful about who I ask to choke me because I'm into big dudes. Like, I don't mean like big. I mean, that'd be great too, but like big dudes. Like, I like sitcom dads and not the hot people either. Like, I have a sexual fantasy of Dan Connor from Roseanne. Yeah. Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, who's not a dad. I don't know if he's a dad, but he's hot. And Al Borland from Home Improvement. Like, they've got that daddy swag, right? Like, fat sitcom guys that I just have a fantasy of all three of them running a train on me. Because somebody's going to know how to cook biscuits and gravy in the morning, right? Like, Like, you can't ask Uncle Jesse to do that shit. Like, he doesn't want to mess up his hair or his shirt. He's so concerned with how he looks. Like, I feel like instead of saying "have mercy" and trying to emulate Elvis, who died on a toilet, by the way, I feel like he should spend more time trying to figure out how to live in a place that's not someone's attic. You know? And I don't know. Are you guys old enough here to remember the show Step by Step? Yeah, do you remember they had that guy in the van in the driveway, Cody? He was supposed to be the hot guy, right? He was supposed to be the hot, like, I'm sorry, like, that conflicts with a lot of things I was told about how to keep myself safe, because if I'm gonna fuck a hot guy, I shouldn't have to go into a van to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that sets a precedent for making better decisions. I actually, like, the last boyfriend I had, we broke up, and unfortunately we broke up before I could get him to the role-playing part of our relationship. I was gonna ask him to role-play as Uncle Phil. Yes, he's black, if anyone's... And I was gonna be light-skinned Aunt Viv. Light-skinned Aunt Viv. I know there were two, but like we broke up before that. We broke up before that could happen. Like it was kind of a bum. It was kind of a bummer because, oh shit. Here we go. Like it was kind of a bummer because, you know, I've always wanted to role play as somebody that was rich, and that way I could pretend to fuck somebody that was actually successful. We broke up, homie. I gotta find me a new Uncle Phil. And I'm not fat shaming just because he's my ex. Like I told you guys, I do like big dudes. The bigger the better, actually. Like I don't like if a guy ever said to me, "Food is fuel," I would kick his ass out of his air mattress. Like, no, we don't. Food is fuel. Like you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. for CrossFit. Suck my dick. I am not interested. I want to do something different. Like, give me a guy that could cook, that knows his way around a steak. Like if he has a belly, and we start fucking, that means I like that, because I'm not conscious about my belly at all. I'm just like, ooh, let's go. Because when his belly claps against mine, it sounds like a standing ovation. And I'm Asian. That's the closest I'll ever get to validation. My mom hates that joke, dude. Like, I feel like big guys can take, I like big guys because I feel like they're up for physical challenges that like smaller guys are not. Yeah, I feel like I would feel okay sitting on a big guy's face, like just sitting on it, just bam, bam, with Megan Thee Stallion knees. I wish I could do it. Like I said, I'm 42, and I wouldn't feel bad in this position because I already know he could take it, and two, this isn't even going to be the best tasting thing in his beard that day. Pancake syrup, bitch. Like, you never know. I don't feel like I could do that same thing. I don't feel like I could do the same thing with a skinny guy. And it has nothing to do with their safety or well-being. Girl, I don't give a fuck. If he dies, he dies. Nah, I just more like an aesthetics thing. It's definitely more of an aesthetics thing. I was one of those unsupervised kids that watched a lot of inappropriate movies, and I don't mean porn. I mean American Psycho. Okay, I watched American Psycho when I was younger, and it's weird because now I'm one of those people that likes like fucking in front of a mirror. Sorry, I don't know if that's part of narcissistic disorder, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and I don't feel like I could sit on a skinny dude's face in front of a mirror and watch that, especially if his feet were sticking out and he didn't take off his socks. You guys remember that scene from Wizard of Oz? Where the house falls on the witch and the feet are sticking out and it's striped socks and shit. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be the fucking house. I don't want to be the house, and I don't want this skinny guy to have to like part my thighs and hear me say some shit because I can't resist a joke. Sorry, we're not in Kansas anymore. All right, guys, I think I got the light. Give it up for your host. Thank you so much. Oh, just kidding. I'm bringing up the next person. Yeah, let's keep going. This girl, this next comic, I'm super excited. I haven't seen her in a minute, but she's one of my favorite people. Like if I had a daughter, I feel like your next comic would beat her up. Very excited coming to the stage, Morgan Anderson. Oh yeah, like, is it my mouth? Okay. Okay, just tell me when. Just tell. Oh, here you are. Hey, honey. All right, where do you want me to put this? Thanks, guys.
I'm on. Can you guys hear me? Clap and yell if you can hear me. Yeah, I just wanted to get that. That feeds me. Oh my God, I've been traveling so much and I hate it. I hate being on airplanes. I hate airplane people. I hate airport people. They're the worst. What is wrong with airports? Why does everyone look like they just jumped out of bed? What the fuck is going on? When did it be like, we used to get dressed up to go to the fucking airport. Do you remember that? Okay, now pajamas, slippers. I get the slippers. I get it, because you got to take your shoes off and stuff. It's easier. It looks like God just fucking picked these people up out of bed and we're like, you're going to Detroit today. The fuck? And I hate airlines. I hate all of them. My least favorite, Delta. Spirit and Frontier don't count because they're not airlines. Spirit, because you might die, and Frontier, because it's the last one. But like, oh my God, Delta is my least favorite because last time I flew Delta, okay, what is the worst thing that you can think of that would be on a plane with you? Snakes. They're quiet. I have, but that was okay. I'd rather have that. Yeah, a baby, okay. Fucking, have you ever had a cat? No, I have on fucking Delta, a cat. What's worse than one cat on a fucking plane next to you? Two fucking cats. What's worse than two cats? Huh, two cats in heat. Do you know what that sound is? Do you know how loud that is? They are right behind me for 6 hours. How is that even legal? People are deathly allergic to cats, Delta. How were they just like, well, hope you have an EpiPen, see you later? Horrible. I love Southwest. Southwest is my favorite airline. I don't give a fuck. They're like, okay, so they're like a city bus, okay? The city bus of airlines. Why don't I take the bus now? Because I have a fucking car. Why do I take Southwest? Because I don't have my own plane. I take Southwest because they know what they are, okay? Do you have an assigned seat? No, like a city bus, you do not have assigned seats. You get on the fucking thing. You can carry all your shit. You get to wherever you are, and if you look crazy enough, nobody will sit next to you. Hell yeah. I love it. Do they charge you for bags? No. It's whatever you can carry on Southwest. They'll throw anything else under the plane. They don't care. Delta's different. They're like Greyhound. They think they're way better than they are. Greyhound charges you for a bag, okay? That's insane. You have an assigned seat on a fucking bus? Really? And they always say that the whole thing is packed, and it is. Why? How do they even do that? I hate it. I hate it, and I have to travel all the time. I just got back from Vegas. Have you guys been there? The city of sin. Whatever comes here, stay. Whatever they say. What is it? What is it? Whatever happens here stays here. No, it doesn't. I have herpes now, so. I'm just kidding. I hate Vegas. I only like it because it's so fun to walk around in that town because everyone is insane. And I'm by myself all the time, and I'm usually in some weird Midwestern town that has nothing to do. And so when I get to go to Vegas, I'm excited, okay? I had shows on Fremont Street, which, if you know, is the old strip. Okay, they have the new strip, which has all the fancy Bellagio fucking fountain or whatever the fuck. Ugh. I like the old strip because it's not lying about what it is. The new strip is lying to you. They're like, we're fancy, we're nice. No, you're fucking not. Fremont Street is where it's at. They have this weird-ass grasshopper that's huge. I like playing games with myself because I have to. I'm by myself all the time. I got to figure out games to play so that I'm not bored. I'm like an only child on the road. So I have all these walking around games because in Vegas you can do that. One of the games that I love to play with myself walking around the strip is just called Sleeping or Dead. It's real fun. You don't really get to find out unless you want to. You know, you gotta tap 'em a little bit just to see. Another one is called Mental Health Crisis or Street Performance. You don't know until the ambulance shows up. You know what I mean? Were they juggling or having I don't know. And my favorite game of all is called Gay or Out of Drugs. And that's fun because it could be both. There are 3 options. And like, did you guys have a good COVID? Yeah. Was it fun? Did you guys wear masks and stuff? No? Fuck yeah. Placerville, it feels like the type of town that like you had a meeting and we're just like, we're not doing that. We don't want to. I love that. I lived in Sacramento. Excuse me, sir? What's your... What, You got COVID? And you lived? I feel like God might have made a mistake on that one. I love men telling me that I'm not funny. That's my favorite thing of all. You're not funny, sir. I can guarantee you're not funny. What do you do for a living? Did someone kick you 2 times? No. Yeah, I can see why. You might have been so annoying that someone broke your back. That's okay. You just yelled that I wasn't funny. Which, come on, ladies, we're used to men being pieces of shit. So, and that's okay. I know that I'm funny. This isn't my first show, sir. So, that's okay. You're fine. Oh, are you putting your jacket on? Oh, good. Well, yelling that someone's not funny and yelling other stuff is actually not that funny. But anyway. But don't men think it's always their show? Isn't life just a man's show? Oh, my God. Not real men. You're right, sir. Not real men like this guy. Hope he's not driving. But it's good that we're not on the road, right? That fucking guy. His back got broken 2 places. Which one? C4 and C6? Who cares? I would like to see you walk out of here. Anyway, I've been traveling a lot. And when I was in Vegas, they had one of my shows. I was at a thing called Skankfest, which it's a comedy festival. It's not because I'm a giant whore. Those are 2 different subjects. They're both accurate, but... And one of my shows was at the end of Fremont Street, and like my GPS was all messed up because there's too many people there, and like nothing works. And so instead of having you walk down Fremont Street, which is the main drag, they had me 2 streets over on like the meth street. It's called Bleecker Street. And that is the most accurate name for that street. I'm running behind an old couple who is methed out of their minds. And I'm running behind them trying to make it to my show, and they're just running faster than me, obviously. They're on meth. And I'm just sitting, I'm like running, and I'm thinking, does every car that passes us think that they're my parents? And I'm just running behind them like, Mom, come on. You guys do this every time. Slow down. No, you don't need another hubcap. So yeah, during the pandemic, I had to go on the road. You know what I mean? Like California shut down. You know, we had a shitty mom. Right? The pandemic was like a divorce, okay? Some states had a cool parent. Some states had a shitty-ass parent. We're in California, okay? We had a shit mom, Gavin Newsom. She was a bitch. She just came on the news. You got to be in bed by 10 p.m. Ugh. You're not allowed to leave anymore. It's like, I have shit to do. I have plans. I want to hang out with my friends. Why can't you be cool? Why can't you be more like Florida? Florida had a cool dad, right? I don't know who their governor is. I think it's just an alligator in a hat. He was rad. He's just out there on a jet ski. Bourbon, cigar. Everybody get down here. I'm taking you all to Disney World. Yeah, it's still open. Fuck it. I've never been more jealous of Florida in my life. But California was shut down. I got to do my job. Where do I go? What do? I don't know. I got to go someplace that doesn't believe in science. Where's that? Oregon. Yeah. Yep, Portland's the only liberal town they have. Everywhere else hates gay people. And as a medium gay, it's like medium terrifying to drive around. And I say medium gay. I don't want to say bisexual. That makes me sound like I'm 22 at a frat party, okay? I don't want to say that. Like, I'm bisexual only if you have a camera. And I don't want to say pansexual. That's also lame. I don't fuck people at a sur la table. You know what I mean? In the La Crusette section, you know? It's the most expensive section. Nobody's ever in there. But yeah, I'm bisexual. Every time I say that, there's some dude in the back. I do a lot of shows at bars. There's always some creepy dude in the back. He already left, but he would have if he was here. If he was here, he would have raised his hand and been all excited, like, yeah! And I got to, like, break the news to him, you know? Like, sir, you got to know the type of women that I'm attracted to be able to be that excited. Because they look like this dude right there. You know what I mean? Like, the threesome that is in that guy's head, not the one he's going to get. It's just going to be me and a lady janitor. And he can participate if he wants to. But, you know, she needs someone to hold her keys. So. But, yeah, going to Oregon. Portland. Straight shot, but on the side of all the freeways leading to Portland, there are all these signs that say Dyke Access Road. I was like, that's weird, but it makes sense because Portland is a gay hub, okay? All the lesbians want to go there. There's a lot of camping, softball tournaments, I don't know. But in order to get there, they got to pass through a lot of towns that want to kill them. So I feel like as a group, they got together and they're like, figured out some sort of like underground railroad situation. And all those dike access road signs just lead to softball field dugouts that we could stay at along the way. And then you finally make it to Portland and you're just in the basement of like an REI. You can buy a softball glove, a tent. I don't know. I also went to New York. You guys been there? That's cool. I had never been there before when I bought my ticket, and so I got an Airbnb in New Jersey. Yeah, I know. It looked close on the map. I don't know how to zoom in. You'd think I'd be able to do that with my fingers, being a half gay, but you know. Didn't. Do you know how long it takes to get from New Jersey to New York on a bus? Yeah, I don't know either, because no bus ever came for me. I just waited. I waited at one bus stop for an hour and a half. No bus ever came. But a man in a white van showed up. And he was like, "Do you need a ride?" And I was like, gross. But yes. And here's the thing. Why I said yes, there was another woman at the bus stop with me who was way hotter than me, okay? And she came too. I'm not an idiot. I know how to bait, okay? She made it, I think. He dropped me off first, so I just like to think she also made it. But I've also been trying to date. That's been terrible. Are you guys, is anybody single in here? The saddest, yeah, yeah. Are you guys on apps? Yeah, which ones? Yeah, right. I can't believe you can stand it. It's all the same guys. Yeah, the one where you get to talk first for the first and only time. You mean Bumble? It's the same guys on every app, and I think that's fucking hilarious because, first of all, when we get in a relationship with gentlemen, they don't have the time to, like, make dates happen. But suddenly they get single, and they have the kind of time it takes to be on 5 different platforms talking to 137 different women. How do they do? It's all the same men. They all have the same fucking picture. The fish one. The fuck? They all have that picture with them holding a string and there's 75 rainbow trout hanging off the end of it. And the caption says, "Just another Saturday." Oh, really, Trevor? Calm down. And a guy friend of mine was trying to explain why men do this. And he was like, first of all, I didn't ask him, but you know, men. They like to volunteer information. And he was like, "Morgan, men put pictures of fish on their profile because they are eliciting a psychological response in women that we can take care of you." What? Where did you read that? Smithsonian Magazine? Like, you're 2,000 years too late. It's not caveman times, okay? I've never looked at a dude and been like, "Oh, he looks like he could start a fire." I don't care. Show me your bank account. Don't send me a dick pic. Send me a picture of you and your credit score. Right? I've seen a lot of dicks. They pretty much all look the same. Credit scores, however, wide variance. That goes 0 to 850. I do love a dick pic, though. I've never gotten one myself because men know what I do for a living, and, you know. I'd put that shit up on Instagram immediately and tag them. Immediately. But my girlfriends send them to me because I like to critique them like they're art. My friend sent me one in black and white the other day. Black and white. This guy think he's the Ansel Adams of dick pics? What's going on? And I like dick pics, not for the dick part, okay? Don't care. But gentlemen, you're not paying attention to what's in the background of your little fucking art project. And that's where your personalities are. It's in that unmade bed, the CPAP machine. All your little weird pills lined up. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm a fucking detective. I want to know that our mental illnesses correspond. And a lot of times Viagra's back there, okay? Because I'm dating old guys now. I'm 37, and I'm dating for business, not pleasure. Just trying to find an old dude to pay for my stuff. And I'm a feminist or whatever, but like, ladies, they're taking our rights away. But not the ones I want to get taken away. I don't want to work. Let's take that right away. Let's roll it back a few decades, okay? All I want to do is vacuum a house wearing a string of pearls high out of my mind on speed. I will vote to not work, and then I will vote to not vote. I don't care. Let's roll it back to 1952, okay? I'll get hit in the face a little bit. I don't give a fuck. You do enough speed, you can't feel it. So obviously, since I'm looking for a dude to pay for my things, I've been doing shows mainly at retirement homes. Trying to find the perfect combination of money and days left. And until I do that, just been stealing all of their prescriptions. Because they have the good ones. They don't notice when they're missing. And I downloaded an app that I think is going to work out for me. I don't know, ladies, you can feel free to also download it. It's just Kaiser My Health. I just bop around all the ICUs and stuff. Trying to find my forever love. His forever, not mine. And I was living illegally in a retirement community, which was the best time of my life. Oh my God, it was a 55 and older community. I was living with my dad. I've never had better self-esteem. You should try it, ladies. Like, I crushed it in water aerobics. I lifted the most in the gym. I just never wore a shirt. It was amazing. Like, my dad has dementia, so I was living there to take care of him. And, like, dementia's the funniest illness for anyone to have at first. It gets weird at the end, but I know everyone gets weird about this, but listen, my job is to make things that are kind of traumatic funny, and I'm about to do that, okay? So sit tight. We're going to be fine. My dad has dementia, and the first thing that went was his ability to put pants on. He was just refused anymore. He just Donald Ducked it around. And I was like, why don't you put pants on? He's like, I don't do that anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess not. And then the next thing to go was his ability to be cold. He didn't want to be cold ever. And I was like, well, the pants thing might solve that, but he didn't want to wear pants. So he would turn the heat on, and this is in the summer. It's 115 degrees up here, you guys. He would just turn the heat on, and we'd have this constant battle where I would turn the air conditioning on, and then he would turn the heater on, and I would go back and turn the air conditioning on, and we never, like, we'd always do it in secret, and then one day we met, and I was trying to turn the air conditioning on, and so we're both, like, had our hands on the AC, and I looked at him, and I was like, you can't touch this anymore. And he looked at me, and he said, why not? And I said something to him that he had said to me all throughout my childhood that I had never said to him in my life. And that thing was, because I fucking said so. And he looked at me and said something that I had said to him throughout my entire childhood that he had never said to me before. And that thing was, well, fuck you. And one night, I had put him to bed. He had pants on when I put him to bed. And the thing about dementia people is that they change clothes all the time. They always think they're going somewhere. Where? I don't know. And he went to bed. And he comes out 10 minutes later. And he has no pants on. And he's wearing a completely different outfit. He has a silk shirt on, button-up silk shirt, like a Hawaiian shirt, like he sells illegal boner pills on the beaches of Florida. And he's holding a wooden back scratcher. I don't even know where he got it. And he comes up to me and he's like, would you scratch my back? And I was like, no, look in your right hand. That's what that's for. You can scratch your own. I'm not doing it. And he's like, okay, fine. Can I have a hug then? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's cute. And as I give him a hug, he smells my hair like a good Joe Biden sniff. Like, smells my hair. And he whispers in my ear, you smell nice. Your perfume smells really nice. And I was like, this is disgusting. And I am so creeped out. But then I thought about it. We live alone together. So is it more creepy that he likes my perfume or that I'm fucking wearing perfume? I don't know, but I love living in the old folks' home because all I really want to do is have my tits out. That's it. That's all I want, okay? I'm 37. Like, I want that. I want that nipple freedom. Men, you have it. You don't know what it's like to not. I just want one. I don't even want both, okay? I would just like one out. And I can't do that now. If I do that now, some asshole guy is going to think I'm hitting on him. Right? When does that end? You know, maybe when I'm like 85. Maybe then I can have one tit hanging out. Because that same kid that would think I was hitting on him today is going to look at my 85-year-old ass and be like, holy shit. Her family's probably looking for her. And then I'd also get a ride home. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like maybe when I'm 85 and my tits just look like 2 wind socks on a day with no wind. And my vagina's just like a puppet without a hand in it anymore. Then I can have one tit out. I could even walk into a store. I can't wait for that. Just walk into a store and have some shitty kid that works there. His name's probably Marcus. Marcus runs up to me, ma'am, this is a Walmart. I'm like, exactly, Marcus. That's the type of shit that flies here. Also, watch your tone. Because you can say that when you're 85, you know. Watch your fucking tone. You're just lucky the other tit is safely tucked into the top of my pants right now. Because I'm just one high shelf reach away from letting them both swing loose. You know what I mean? Oh, my God. You guys have been so much fun. I've been Morgan Anderson. Are you guys ready for your freaking headliner tonight? He is so funny. He's an Emmy award-winning comedian out of LA. He tours all over. Give it up. Make it super loud. Let's try right now. Keep it. Make it loud. Make it loud. Make it loud. Mike Glazer. Get him up here.
That's Morgan. Keep it going for Morgan. She's so good. Everyone, Ivy, keep it up for Ivy again, please. We all just met backstage,
and we immediately started talking about our trauma, and I was like, we're friends forever. Like, it was really nice. I like them both. What's up? Did you say something? You can relate to that? Then you might like my set, because it's kind of like open-hearted but full of drugs and sex. So, yeah, it's about as real as I can get, you know? Okay, yeah, maybe this is for you. What's your name? Rachel? Mike. All right, we'll see how this goes. So, my favorite thing to do in the world is to just walk to the movie theater and see whatever's playing next. I love that roll of the dice. I love sitting in a dark theater. It's my favorite thing to do. And the other night, I was like, let's go have a night, Mike. And so I was walking to the theater, and I remembered that I had mushrooms in my back pocket from the night before. And I was like, okay, it's about a 40-minute walk. This is gonna be great. I'll eat them. I'll go see a movie. It's gonna be spectacular. I'll sit in J7, hit my vape. Like, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. And so I get to the theater, and it's starting to twinkle a bit, and I'm feeling really good. But the only thing playing at 9:50 was the new Exorcist movie, and it was awful. It was the worst time I've ever had in my life. I was alone in the theater, and I was still like, like it wasn't reasonable to be there. Every single scary part felt like a metaphor for like my own family trauma, where it would bubble up, and I'm like, that's about my life. And so I had this like bad trip at The Exorcist, and it really ruined my vibe. And I walked out of there pretty shook, and I didn't know what to do about it. So I was like, okay, you're tripping pretty hard now. These have hit. Go see anything else. Like, reset the system. Go see anything else, and maybe you'll have a better time. And I heard something playing, and I was like, at least it's not The Exorcist. Let's go. And so I walked in, and it turns out it was Taylor Swift's Eras movie. And oh my God, that was amazing. It was me, 4 young girls, and this gay dude, and we just danced for 2.5 hours in the theater. It was the most cleansing time of my life. She's touched by God. Like, it was unbelievable. I walked out of there floating on air. Like, everything felt right in the world. I made new friends. I cut it up. Like, so I guess I'll start my set by saying, like, I bet a lot of people have Barbenheimered, where you see like Barbie and Oppenheimer, and that's fine. But yo, if you can Swift, like, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. She's amazing. I just put that joke on my Instagram, and it got 1 million views, and Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce, faved it, which is unbelievable to me, because that means that she might have seen it, and then they laughed together, and like, yo, that's wild. Like, what if I'm in a group chat with them? How fun. How fun. Like, that'd be incredible. Like, what's that?
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, and in this case, only 3. Because it's me and them. It's unreal. Like, and also it was just her birthday, so like, what if he saved it and he was like, watch this? Like, what if I was a present? I don't know. Either way, I'm just happy to be a part of their family. It feels great. It feels great to be like friends with them. Really good friends. Besties, some would say. I would say. I did say. And it's like, but I think that's because like I learned this year specifically with the world opening back up to just say like yes to life for the first time in my life. And it's been a hard road to get there. And weed has been like a big part of that, if I'm gonna be real with y'all. You said, did you want weed? I brought some up from that gift bag. Did you want some? Rachel? Yeah, you gotta say yes, right? Do you want a cart or do you want a pre-roll? Oh, welcome. Here you go. Give it up for Rachel, everybody. I'll talk about... Does anyone want a cart? You want a cart? 1 degree of separation. Hell yeah. All right. So weed this year. Weed has made my life simple and easy. In LA, my first job, like Hollywood job, was doing this video series for BuzzFeed called Hi Guys. Where I would just get ripped out of my mind, and then I would show up and they'd surprise me with an activity and we'd make a BuzzFeed video about it. So I got super high and they surprised me with a sloth. That was unbelievable because we have the very same energy. That was really fun. And then the next one, they surprised me with a little monkey in a diaper, and we ate a hot fudge sundae together, and it was just a dream come true. And I was like, my life is great. I've made it. Hollywood is easy. This is living. And then they were like, show up for the third one, but we want you to get extra high. And I was like, you have my word. And so I took 2 edibles, 10 milligrams each. I smoked a joint. I took a dab. I took a bong rip. And then I had 2 joints, one behind each ear, so that in the parking lot while I'm waiting to go, I could like maintain this level. And through all of that, I was ripped out of my mind. And they said, welcome, Mike. Here you go. And they handed me a blindfold, and I said, what's this? And they said, put it on. I was like, absolutely. And then they put me in the back of a car and just started driving. And I was like, okay, this is a kidnapping. This isn't fine at all. I don't like this or how this feels. I am too high to be in a BuzzFeed video where they waterboard me for views. Like, I'm not all about this. And I was very scared, and I could hear my body making pee. I was very high. Like, have you ever been that high where like you're like, where's that drip sound coming from? And you're just like, oh, it's coming from inside me. That's not okay. And then it's like it's not okay. It's not okay. And so I'm in the back of this car, ripped out of my mind, just hearing in my head all the time. And at that point, I was like, all right, Mike, you gotta come up with some life rules. Like, this isn't okay. You need to learn what a boundary is, for sure. You should maybe ask for more than $150 a video, because this is not all right. Like, what is happening right now that you got yourself in this predicament? What are some rules for your life? Say no when you mean it. Stand up for yourself. Stop that. Like, it's not okay. And finally, the car stopped, and I was like, all right, I don't know what this is, but I'm not all about this life. Like, this is not okay. And they walk me into this room, and then they're like, take off your blindfold. I was like, okay. So I took off my blindfold, and there's these bright lights, which were very startling. And then this shape came into view and like caught into focus, and it was Snoop Dogg. And I was like, oh, you don't need life rules. Life rules. You just have to say yes forever, because then I got ripped with Snoop Dogg, and I was like, okay, all you got to do is just be like about it, and life will show up for you. The universe is beautiful. So like ever since then, I'm just like going around the country trying to make friends, sell some merch or Molly, whatever you got to call it. I don't know. Like, can I call it Molly here? Yeah, great, because it's Molly, but it's also really good merch. So let me know if you want any. You do? Great. It's maybe I should. Yeah, why not? There's like enough of us here. We can clear the tables, dance so hard we forgive our dad. Why not? That's my favorite thing to do, man. I feel like, yeah, if you want some Molly afterwards, let me know. It's forgiveness in a pill. It's way better than my album. Like, what do you want? My album for $20, or do you want a pill filled with forgiveness? Because that's what Molly is. That's what it is. Like, I took it in Vegas on Fremont, like Morgan was talking about. I took Molly on Fremont Street, and I danced so hard I forgave my dad. Like, it was unbelievable. I don't know if you've ever felt that, but I was like, oh my God, he did the best he could. Like, it was gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, he like tried. Like, some of that's on me. Like, I should call him. Like, it's a problem. And so let me know, because, yeah, it'll help you. He did his best. He didn't do great, but he did his best. He messed me up mentally pretty hard. Like, he caught me smoking cigarettes when I was 13 years old. I was trying to be a cool kid, smoking cigarettes around the corner of my house with my friend Brandon Dodds, and he caught me smoking Marlboro Reds. And he made Brandon go home, and then he stared at me and made me smoke the whole pack of Marlboro Reds. And I got real sick. I'm projectile vomiting, and he's like, now you won't smoke. And I don't smoke. Thanks, I guess. I don't know. Because I guess now if I ever have a kid, I'll have to pass on that generational trauma. And if I catch them vaping, make them eat the whole machine? I don't know. Like, is that what you do? You're just like, finish the batteries? I don't know. It's for your own good. Then we'll go to the doctor. I don't know about it. And then at 16, he caught me jacking off. And maybe I should have locked the door. It's his house. Or maybe he should have knocked. Either way, he threw open the door, and I was like, huh! And he was like, huh! And I was like, ah! And then he yelled something that ruined me for life. He goes, careful! Which is not... You don't yell that to a person learning about their body. You don't panic, go, careful! And so, I don't know. So, like, we're doing the best we can. Jesus Christ. Oh, that kind of hurts a bit. I was a hockey goalie for my whole life. I'll talk about that in a bit, actually. I tore my rotator cuff in January. I tore it pretty bad. I was playing hockey. I covered the puck. They ran into me, and my shoulder went back, and it tore so bad that all the muscles in my neck got pulled. I pinched a nerve in my neck. It was bad news. I was really hurt. And so I immediately went to the orthopedist, and I got a CT scan and an MRI and an X-ray all the way up. And the orthopedist was like, you need surgery right away. We're going to get you into physical therapy right away. So I did all of that, started physical therapy, started feeling good. Go back for another checkup, CT scan, X-ray, MRI, all the way up. And the doctor's like, hey, your shoulder's looking a lot better. Your neck is looking a lot better. The pinched nerve, everything is heading in the right direction. And new parts of your brain are lit up than in the very first round of tests. That's really good. That means you're growing new neural pathways. That means your brain is healthy. But it happened fairly quickly. How did you do that? And I was like, oh, doc, I've been jacking off with my left hand because I hurt my right shoulder. Also, I guess I cured Alzheimer's? Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thanks. It's rad, right? Like, I could have helped Morgan's dad. Like, who knew the stranger helps with dementia? Like, that's awesome. I'm trying to pitch that to TED Talks, and they won't get back to me. And so I am genuinely telling, like, 20 people at a time, hoping for, like, research money, because I think that would be so cool. So cool to win the Nobel Prize. Like, there's a control group, there's an experiment. Like, it would be real fun for everyone. Everyone would get paid. I don't know. Maybe I'd get a Nobel Prize. What's that? With what? Oh, yeah, my dad's not allowed to be around us. No way. He'll ruin the experiment the entire time. Can you imagine all these different rooms, right-handies, left-handies, like, no, you're right. Thank you. Careful. Yeah, he's banned from the experiment. This is fun. I wasn't sure. This is fun. This is great. I don't know. Does anyone here have a dog? No? Fucking right on, y'all. That's awesome. I'm a cat dude, but I thought I was a dog dude for a while. Until I thought I wanted a dog because it would like help me exercise. I'd get my steps in. It would like push into like the nook of my legs while I'm sleeping and stuff like that. But then I took more mushrooms because that's what I do to like make choices. And I went to the dog shelter on mushrooms because I was like, well, if a dog is made of love and I'm feeling love, like we'll meet in the middle because they're made of rainbows. Like that just makes sense to me. They're pure joy all the time. So if I can feel that, we'll connect and I will have like a real like moment of soulmate with an animal. And that's what I'm looking for. And then I went to the shelter and I live in a small apartment. It's a pretty small, I don't know if you have them here. It's a German-style studio apartment, if you have those here. German-style because it's like the kitchen and the living room is one area, and then there's this walk-in oven. And so it's this like really, yeah, free gas, hot shower. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's a nice deal. It's a really nice deal. But it's a small German apartment. And so I can only get a small dog. And so I'm looking at all these dogs, and there's huskies and there's golden retrievers, and the only small dog there was this Chihuahua, which, I don't think so, man. I went up to that thing. It was shaking like it owes everyone money. Like, absolutely not. Are you out of your mind? I went up to it to say hi. I was like, hello, and it was like, I'll get it to you tomorrow. And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was like, no. How about Friday? And I was like, okay, this is not going to work. You got to service animal yourself before you can help me. I just like left $6 and was out because, well, what is it going to be, $6-7 tops? It's a Chihuahua. Who does he owe? So I'm still looking for an animal. I had a cat, R.I.P. Bobo. He was a real one. He had no tail. He murdered everything. I love him and miss him so much, but now I don't know what to do with my life. So I just like have like casual sex that will catch up to me. Because I'm trying to fill a hole. You know what I mean? I'm really just trying to fill a. Oh, yeah, that too. I'm trying to fill. Yep. I'm trying to. I want. Yeah. Holes. So one of my favorite things to do is like have like is to like brown. I love browning out. I think that's my favorite thing to do in the world. I love browning out so much because I'm in my head all the time. But if I'm browned out, I know what I'm doing and I know my choices, but I don't want to stop doing them. So I feel very free. And that has gotten me into some precarious situations. Like, this is how I thought I was in love, but the sex was just good. I browned out at my favorite bar in Los Angeles, and I'm standing next to this woman at the bar, and the vibe is right. We're having a good time. We're like, everything about our pheromones are just linking and connecting. And I was like, we're gonna go home together. It's gonna be so hot. I can't wait. We linked because neither of us like cilantro. And she was like, oh, I hate cilantro. It tastes like ass. And I was like, that's why I can't stop eating it. Like, it's like fun shit like that. You know what I mean? Where it's not even a good joke, but it's like fun to say in the moment. And so we're having a great time. And we stumble out of the bar, and she's like, let's go back to my place. And I was like, good, you're gonna hate my walk-in oven. Let's go to your place. And so we go to her place, and she immediately starts rolling a joint and turns on Animal Planet. And I was like, yo, quality time is my love language. You know what I mean? Like, spit in my mouth and ignore me, love acts of service, but quality time, very close second. And so... between those two, like, I'm yours forever. And so, like, the spit in my mouth is gonna come soon. I know it. But right now, quality time. Let's watch some Animal Planet, smoke this joint, have some fun. And so we're making out to Animal Planet. And it's getting, like, hotter and heavier. And we're having fun, and we're taking off each other's clothes, and everything is, like, in sync, and it's beautiful. And then I turn to go down on her. And as I go down on her, the Animal Planet documentary was about the Nile, and she starts laughing, and I'm like, I don't know what's so funny. I think I'm pretty good at this. And she's like, no, look. And it turns out there was a crocodile going across the Nile in the documentary, and so I looked up at her like this. And I'm like, what's going on? And I was like, ha ha, and then I just like laughed, and then I went like right back down. It was beautiful. Like, we stayed together too long after that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have an ending to that. I hope you can feel the ending to that. Like, because it was so real. Thanks, yeah. It was beautiful. Sometimes I stay in relationships too long. Yeah, I guess I'll be, like, it's fine. I like a strong woman. Like, I like a thick thigh. You know what I mean? Like, I like a thick thigh. I love it. It's so, like, if I could marry Xena or Pink, like, forever. Pink was my first crush. And, you know, am I like a 70-30 split man-woman? Absolutely. And Pink fits that profile really well. And so I remember being with this woman for a little too long, and there were so many beige flags about our relationship. So many beige flags. One is she's a lot stronger than me, which I'd be okay with. I'm confident in myself, and I don't mind. But she had those muscles up here. Do you know those muscles where it looks like you're wearing an airplane pillow all the time? Like, I didn't really like that. And also her toenails were always painted white, so they looked like baby teeth. It was really gross to me. Like, I didn't like that at all. Like, if you have toenails, don't do white. It looks like youth tooth. Don't do it. It's really gross. But she was also like CrossFit strong. and so like she had like a 6-pack abs and like, you know, she was really strong. And but she also had an outie belly button because of her strength, and that's pretty gross to me. Like that's really gross to me. Why wouldn't you fix that, right? Like you're building all this up and you're not going to poke that back in? Come on now, like fix that. Untie it, tie it back in, like double knot. Whatever you got to do to fix it is what I'm here to support. Because like we would be like hot and heavy and it would be like this, but like her silhouette was just, you know, like yeah, nice, you know, a hefty bosom, a round ass, and then this and I hated it. It was like a little baby carrot and I couldn't get over it at all. Because like sometimes like you like to be on the bottom as a dude. Sometimes you like to be on top. Sometimes you like to be behind. Whatever. But like if I'm on bottom and she's on top and it's getting hot and heavy, her outie would like graze my innie like that the entire time, which is not okay at all. Why am I okay with that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's not okay. Come on. And what do you get her tight and it's like in there like that? No, man. Nobody wants that. Now we're faking orgasms because like neither of us wants this. It's so gross. And then she sits up real quick and it's like there's no way, man. There's no way. You gotta break up. You can't. Careful. Oh. Okay. This part is gonna be, I wasn't sure. Placerville seems interesting when it comes to political comedy. We will see how this goes. And then we'll move on, all right? Sounds good, great. So, actually, maybe a good way to frame this, because I haven't been here in 5 years, way before the pandemic. Do y'all vote? Yes? Barely. Kind of take care of yourselves. Keep it in. Like, vote local. Take care of like small businesses. But when it comes to like red state, blue state, where do we land on all of that? It's purple. What does that mean? Royal? Like you fuck with Prince Andrew? What does that mean? Prince Albert? Yeah, a little dick piercing. I like you. Hell yeah. You're a lot of fun. Cheers. Fucking hell. Smoking weed, liking cock rings. Fun. All right. Right on. And you got a little pink haircut? I'm fucking yours. Yeah, I bet so. Like, we'll Eiffel Tower and high five, lock eyes, go right back down. Fuck yeah, we will. 100%. 100%. I'm be like, nice strap on. You're like, yeah, thank you. That's awesome. We shake hands. Like, instead of high fiving, I feel like we'd firm handshake in an Eiffel Tower. That'd be real fun. Hey, good game. Fucking nice. Real nice game. Coin flip foot? Okay. Okay, great. Okay. This is the state. I hate when comics are like, stay with me on this part. This is long, but I find it to be worth it, and I hope you do too. So, in 1935, the Cobb salad was invented, okay? And it was invented in part by a man named Sid Grauman. Who is Sid Grauman? So he was born in the late 1800s, like right around 1865, on the tail end of the gold rush, which I think had to do with Placerville also, right? The gold rush was a part of this place. So his family, on the tail end of the gold rush, tried to make as much money as possible in this last-ditch effort, but it seemed like everybody was already cashing out on the gold rush. So what they did instead was they opened up vaudeville theaters everywhere that people were making their homestead. Wherever anybody was making gold, making money, they would set up a vaudeville theater so that there was entertainment, so they could get a little piece of that gold for themselves. Sid Grauman took that opportunity, and as he grew older, he started to own all of those vaudeville theaters. And he also had terrible, terrible, terrible mouth problems. He needed dental surgery and couldn't afford it, and so he had trouble eating his whole life. By 1935, he had vaudeville theaters under the Grauman name all the way down the coast of California, ending with opening a vaudeville theater in Los Angeles, California, called the Grauman Chinese Theater, which is super famous today. And then right across from that is the Grauman Egyptian Theater, both of those in his name. And he ended up being a multimillionaire. He ended up partnering with someone, which started Paramount Pictures, and he ended up going and getting the dental surgery he needed, all of this in 1935. Once he had the dental surgery, he was starving. And he went to the Hollywood Brown Derby restaurant and said, I need something soft. I know I'd normally get something else, but can you make me a salad or something? And they whipped up the Cobb salad that we know today. And all of that happened in 1935 thanks to him. Do you know what happened in 1933, 2 years before that? Not the Caesar. Good guess. Former Democratic leader Dianne Feinstein was born. She just died this year, but she was still making decisions about our future. She predates the Cobb salad. What are we talking about? Nancy Pelosi is 83. Mitch McConnell is 81. Why are they deciding what happens to us when they need to die and get out of the fucking way? Good God. Hallelujah. Stop it. Like, I voted for Biden because I was like, we'll see, let's go. I didn't know how old he was. I had no idea. I had no idea. That boy was hopped up on HGH and Adderall, and we're making fun of Trump for it. Meanwhile, he's low-key just to get through a debate. Stop. Stop it. He literally has holes in his brain. If you Google it, he has holes. His thoughts whistle, for sure. That's how tiny these holes are, just zooming around him. I hate it, man. He walks to the podium, or catches the podium, let me say. He's like, whoa, and he catches the podium. And then we're like, what are you going to do about the middle class? It's getting erased. What are you going to do about the middle class? And he's just like, razzmatazz, or whatever he thinks is a sentence. It's always something like that. He's like, we're going to hit him with some bippity-boppity. And it's like, no, man, that's not a solution. That's not His son Hunter has done more for the middle class. Yo, he spent $860,000 on prostitutes, drugs. That is middle class. Like, he's probably taking care of college debt for some of those prostitutes. Meanwhile, his fucking dad ain't doing shit. Like, yo, I'll vote for Hunter. That sounds fun. Like, come on, man. Are you out of your mind? Him and Keith Lee, they've done more for the middle class. If you don't know Keith Lee, he's a TikTok guy. He sits in his car and supports small black businesses by eating their food, and then the whole black community will go and support that place because they didn't know about it previously. Between him and Hunter, like, that's the only way we're gonna, like, help people, because they all, Biden, Pelosi, like, they all insider trade too, right? Like, all of them just, like, they say they're like, we're gonna get rid of college debt. There's no way Biden's gonna remember that. Like, he's not gonna remember today. Like, he's not gonna remember college debt. Like, during the next debate, Biden may as well just walk up there and be like, hey, look, we figured it out. We are gonna send every single one of you a candle, and you can light it and manifest the idea of fixing your life. 100%. And then they all bought candle stock 3 months earlier. Like, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. Not that Trump was better. Like, don't get it twisted. I didn't fuck with it. I think he turned our country into a Ross dress for less. Like, for real. For real. Do you know what I'm saying by that? Like, I really do. Because for real. Like, you know, like, I feel like I tour across the country, and everywhere I go, no one wants to be there. Everyone's angry. There's always clothes all over the ground. Like, that is a Ross dress for less to me. And Also, I don't know how you felt about the vaccine. It feels like a lot of you did or didn't fuck with it. I took it, but I didn't want to because I was like, oh, the same people who made this vaccine also created the opioid crisis? What are we talking about? Like, you really want me to trust you on that? I don't know. Like, I have zombies walking around my streets, and now you want me to get a booster on top of a booster on top of a booster? That sounds like some opioid tricks to me. Like, that's how you get hooked on boosters, man. I know a couple people hooked on boosters, and they can't stop. So it's not okay. They pitched that vaccine like it was a Marvel movie. College film at best. Like, come on. What are you talking about? COVID had some notes. So, and I got it in a parking garage. I got the vaccine in a parking garage. This is America. Why am I getting a life-saving vaccine? Like, why change where I do drugs? Sure. But also a parking garage? Okay. We made it through. Great. Thanks. We're working on that. Like, oh, I forgot this part too. Like, okay, I don't know how many of you here are rich. Is anyone here rich for real? Loki, are you rich? Are you? I mean, there's no shame in the game, man. Like, that's a cool thing to be. It is. Like, no, like, oh, you're like, go to jail rich. Like, you're tax evade rich. You're Wesley Snipes rich. That's such a specific kind of rich where you're like, I live in Spain now, I'm rich. Like, and I have a different name, and it's cash only. Move to Alaska. They'll fucking... That's the place. If you're going to be tax evasion rich, move to Alaska. Like, that's the kind of place where they just, like, you don't need an ID. It's cash only. You'll walk up and see a guy holding a jar full of brass knuckles, and he'll ask you to guess how many. Alaska rules. I love Alaska. Anchorage and Ketchikan. You grew up in Fairbanks? Fucking, we will Eiffel Tower. I cannot wait. God damn it. Oh, that's going to be so good. Fuck yeah, I love Fairbanks. Fairbanks is beautiful. I just pictured a bald eagle landing on her back between us. USA, baby. Fucking USA. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. It is cash only. My freezer's up here where the hot is. Like, I need to change my life. Like, none of our government officials have ever had a freezer up here where the hot is. They've grown up with freezers down here where the cold is. It's not okay. It's the socioeconomic difference. I should have just moved on from Bald Eagle and just kept it pushing. But what are you gonna do? This was a good year. Say again? Back to the rich guy? Do you want me to talk to him? Do you want me to talk to you? So far, I'm making friends and no enemies. Like, I think I'm kind of crushing the crowd work portion as opposed to being like, what do you do for a living? Gay. Like, I'm much better at crowd work than that. The rich guy shit is, it's just like, with respect, I just want to move on because I feel like I had a full head of steam about how I don't respect our political leaders, and then we had a real fun time, and now, you know, that ship sailed. You know what I mean? It really did. Like, I could bring it back, but you'd be like, okay, this feels like the part where I take a piss. Like, that's how that would feel. Like, that would be the time when everyone's like, I need a beer, and I'd rather, like, do 12 more minutes tops and let's fucking turn up because I'd like to drink a whiskey. Yeah, I would really like a whiskey. My whiskey saved me a couple times, man. Like, I like to turn up, and one time I went home with a woman and I didn't really want to, and then whiskey saved me because whiskey was like, nah, and that was pretty cool. That felt good. I was like, thank you, whiskey, because my blood was in my toes and it wasn't moving up. It hiccuped. My blood, I was like, get up here, and it was like, oh, no, I can't. And so when I don't drink, my blood will rush. You know, it'll work. Like, it'll rush to the front of the stage like a Travis Scott concert. Like, it will work. He did nothing wrong. He's so good at music. This has been an interesting year. My whole life kind of culminated this year into a moment where I realized that I'm on the right path. I just performed in my first arena this year, and it was a dream come true. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I got to do warm-up for the NHL Awards in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena, and it was unbelievable. I flew out. They put me in a Nashville Predators hockey jersey, and I walked out there to a full arena, and I was like, what's up? Is that whiskey?
Yes, sir.
Cheers. Thank you. What's your name? Bobby. Cheers. Thanks, Bobby. Merry Christmas. So I'm, fuck yeah. Whatever it is, my mouth's warm, so thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that feels great. Yeah, I can feel it in my hands. That rules. Okay. So to catch you up, I got to perform in my first arena, and it was this year I did warm-up for the NHL Awards. And it was a full arena in Nashville. And all of a sudden, I walk out to this crowd. I've never felt the energy of 10,000 people screaming before. The power was real. And so I leaned into it as hard as I could. And I go, "What's up, Nashville?" And this whole crowd lost their mind. They were like, "Yeah, Nashville." And I was like, "I can't hear you." I said, "What's up, Nashville?" And the place erupted. They were fucking primed to have a great time. And then I saw a bunch of my heroes from growing up and playing hockey in the crowd, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna roll the dice, and maybe I can be friends with these people like Connor Bedard and the Vegas Golden Knights, Mark Messier. And so I just said, yo, I was a hockey goalie for my whole life, which is true. I was a hockey goalie my whole life. And the crowd's like, yeah! And I go, and I won a gold medal with Team USA. And I did. I won a gold medal with Team USA. I represented our country. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what they did too. They're like, yeah. And then I was like, and it was in roller hockey. Boo, dude. They all booed. 10,000 people booed. Have you ever heard 10,000 people take a deep breath as one and boo you twice? God damn, it was wild. It was wild. The amount of disrespect on everyone's face, I was like, yeah, ha-ha. Like, it sucked, but I crushed. Like, once we moved on from that, it was fine. I did a good job. I was very proud of the job I did. I got everybody back on the same page, and so I got invited to the after party, and that was really cool. Also, can I just say, roller hockey, big boo, and I'm not too proud of it. I'm just starting to talk about that now because I was #1 in roller hockey in the country. I trained at the Olympic training centers my whole life for roller hockey, but also big boo, because that to me is like a male gynecologist. You're like, ew, why? Like, that's so gross. Do anything else. Like, you know, that's how that feels. So anyway, so I go to the after party, and the Stanley Cup is there, and all the Vegas Golden Knights are there, and they just won the Stanley Cup, and we're drinking whiskey, we're turning up. It's so fun. And one of the Vegas Golden Knights puts his arm around me, and he was like, yo, Glazer, we're going to the after. Do you want to come? And I was like, yes, I want to fucking kick it with the Vegas Golden Knights at the after. And he was like, well, we're all also going to microdose. Are you down? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to microdose with the Vegas Golden Knights. And he was like, awesome, here you go. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, it's a microdose. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that is not a microdose. How much is that, dude? And he's hammered. And so he goes like, oh, like a sparkle. Which is not an amount, man. That is like not an amount at all. Like, I didn't know we're using the glitter scale for drugs these days. I didn't know that. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, one's a sparkle, two's a shimmer. Like, I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. But I have to impress these men. And so I take the microdose and I put it in my mouth, and his 6'2", 280-pound sparkle, yo, my beam of light. I lost my mind that night at the after. It was wild. I've never tripped that hard in my life. I was like the quiet dude at the after party. Do you know that dude? Maybe you've been it before, where you're just kind of like quiet and swaying. in the circle like this. Like they're all talking about where they're gonna golf and how their postseason is gonna go in next year, and I'm just like this, in the circle, ruining the vibe, and they all know it. And so I'm like, all right, Mike, you're tripping. You're aware you're tripping. Just say anything. Add anything to the conversation, and then you'll be in the flow, and you'll break out of this like self-contained pocket that you're in. Whatever you want to say, just say something, get it going, and you'll be good. And the only thing I could think of to say to them, because my mind is dumb, I was like, oh, you know what? Like cabinets are just shelves with secrets, which is like. Not something you want to say out loud at all, let alone to the Stanley Cup champion. So I was like, haha, just kidding, I gotta go. And like, I just like fucking left. Hey, was that the guy who got booed and then talked about kitchen hacks? Yeah, okay. Don't invite him anywhere. It sucked. And so I just like removed myself from the situation, and I'm walking through the streets of Nashville, and it's like 4:30 in the morning, and it's dark, and the streets are empty. And I'm trying to get over my faux pas and just appreciate the moment, because I'm trying to have gratitude for like what I have done in life and how proud I am of it. And I start to feel it, and I start telling my criticism to like get out of my own fucking head. Like, be proud of what you've goddamn done. Like, today is a day, tomorrow is another day. Keep it fucking pushing, dude. Fuck this brain. And so, thank you. And so as I do, this like well of gratitude comes up, and it comes out of me, but it comes out as a laugh because that's my defense mechanism. And I just go, ha ha ha. Like in the streets, and as I do, lightning cut across the sky, and I was like, did it with my mind. Like, it felt so awesome. It felt so good, and that made me laugh again, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And because of science, that lightning was followed by thunder, and I'm like, yeah, fucking Jews do control the weather. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Space lasers. We owe Kanye an apology. God damn it. It was a good lesson. Space lasers, indeed. Okay, last one, and we're done. Cheers, y'all. This will be a real one. Cheers. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to May. Okay, I think this joke is why she asked me to do this. Okay, real shit. So, at the very beginning of the pandemic, I had a mental breakdown, a real mental breakdown, like a real one. Like, I came to in my bathtub, my shower was on, my sink was on, all my burners were on, my front door was wide open. I have no idea how much time passed, and I just like snapped to, and I was like in my jeans in my bathtub, like, what is going on? And it really scared me. And so I went to my friend and I said, this just happened, what do I do? And she said, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but you probably need some pills, and you should definitely start therapy. And I was like, well, first I'm gonna go on TikTok and see if I'm autistic, because it seems like 16-year-olds know. They all know. It's so crazy. They're all like, trouble focusing? Autism. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. So once I self-diagnosed myself as non-autistic based on a child with braces thoughts, I started therapy with this dude named Peter. Shout out Peter Tuesdays at noon over Zoom. He's cool, man. Like, I learned I'm bipolar 1, you know, the fun one where you ruin your life and spend all your money and then blame it on anything except your own choices. And I also, turns out I'm manic depressive, and that runs in my mom's whole side of the family, but we don't really talk about it because she stared at me while I was a child instead of touching me, and so I don't know what's going on in my life. And so I'm figuring all that stuff out, and I start therapy with Peter on noon over Zoom. But something that Peter never told me about starting over Zoom is that my apartment doesn't feel like a safe place at all during these sessions, at all, because I can hear my neighbors having loud sex all the time. Loud OnlyFans style sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be OnlyFans, because one, I've seen him. His stroke game looks bad. He has real Audi energy. You know what I mean? Like, I I don't think he's that good in the game. So it's got to be OnlyFans. But if I can hear that, then they can definitely hear me talk about my mom. Like, there's no way they can't hear that. And so, I should also say at this point, I had bought a gun too, just to be real, because I was like, one of these is going to work. So I was like, well, maybe. And and I got home one night, and I think somebody used my gun. I don't know, like, because the barrel tasted weird. So. So I'm talking to Peter, and I'm about to start touring again in this January, and I told Peter, I was like, hey man, I'm kind of scared to start touring. Our country is a mess. I don't know if people are gonna go out. I don't know if the world is on fire. I'm just like scared to say my opinions. It seems like people are angry and staying inside. And Peter says to me, Mike, I know you're scared of that, but that's some surface level bullshit. I'm here to ask you why you do comedy. Why do you do comedy? And I was like, God damn it, fuck you. Why do I do comedy? And we were talking about my childhood that day, and I was like, okay, fucking let's lean in, dude. Let's lean in. I'll play your game. And I told Peter Tuesdays at noon, I was like, I think I do comedy because my mom had a really, really fucked up childhood. Really fucked up. She left at 16 years old. I moved out really early, and I always felt like she had me to save her from herself because she didn't get any help from a mental health facility at all. She would only, this is too real, and I can't deal with that. Thank you. I always felt like my mom had me to save her from herself. Because growing up, if I made my mom laugh, my family was like pretty incredible. Like it was a really, really beautiful thing. I'd do something silly, I'm like, and she's like, I love you, Michael. And I'm like, I love you, Mom. Oh my God, thank you so much. But if I wasn't making my mom laugh, it would be like pretty chaotic. There was a lot of scary times in my house unless I was like dancing for everybody to like bring the family together. So I ended up spending a lot of time alone in my room. I was a big loner. I had no friends growing up because I didn't know how to relate to anyone unless I was making them laugh. And now I'm learning from you, Peter Tuesdays at noon, that what she was giving me, my mom was giving me was validation. She was just giving me validation, non-fucking stop. And now I'm this bottomless pit of validation because I don't know anything else. I was giving her love and giving her everything she needs, and now I need strangers to laugh at me all the time. That's why I love merch. That is why like I will like hook up with anybody because whatever it is, I'm getting validation, and I'm a bottomless pit of it, and it's happening all the time, and I don't know if I've ever felt love. I don't know how to give love, and that's even worse because I have beautiful people in my family and friends that I'd love to give love to if I knew how, but I'm just like not built like that. And I think all of that, all-consuming, all the time is why I do stand-up comedy. And my neighbor goes, nice! I got through the wall validation, y'all. Like, I don't know if you're on that level, but best of luck to you. I was like, what is your OnlyFans? He's like, don't worry about it. You've been doing the work. We've been listening. We're proud. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Someone's proud. Thanks, neighbors. Cool. Sometimes that goes great. Sometimes, you know, what are you going to do? But it's real. What's up? The right jacket? The red jacket. You lost me on that, homie. Yeah. Oh, she's my ride or die, huh? Yeah, she is. She is. You know, that's really like the last thing I wanted to talk about. But I guess I'll end on the idea that like this. I haven't been here, but I really dig this place a lot, and I really dig May, and I'm so glad that we got to meet. And like all of you being here tonight on fucking Christmas means the goddamn world. Thank you for the shot. Thank you for being rich. I will thank them privately, and this has been awesome. My name's Glazer. My Instagram's Glazer Boo Hoo Hoo. If you'll next time you see me, it'll be with Taylor Swift. So have a good fucking night. Is that good? Give it up for. Do you want me to just close? Be done? Okay. May brought this all together. As she comes up here, if you could give it up for her one time, sipping on a high. Cheers. And one more time for Ivy, Morgan, Ivy, Deuces. May, get up here. I don't know what else is going on, but I guess stick around and turn up. And thank you to the dude running sound. Thank you for kicking that guy out. Fuck yeah. As he got kicked out, he put his coat on and spilled all his drinks. It was unbelievable. So, good night.